Reading this book, it's clear that the author's strong suit is in writing characters' personal introspections.
He went there when he wanted to be there. People go down to the river to fish or be baptized or to stand in the river to pray or wash dogs. The water was always busy washing things up, washing the rocks on our shoreline, washing away the stress from the stressed, cleaning the ache from the aching. Singing and washing was always going on, changing from season to season, for reason to reason.
And author Mark McLane is just as rhapsodic off the cuff when describing the Whitewater River.
There's something about the sound and the flow of water that cleanses one's spirit. There is so much in this book that takes place on the confluence there of those two rivers as they hurry south towards the Ohio River. It is a place of solace that has a different voice in any of the seasons of the year.
His love affair with Brookville started when he arrived in town decades ago with a teaching degree and not much else. And that experience made it into the book through its main character, Felix.
The idea about hitchhiking into town in the middle of the night actually did happen.
McLane, like Felix, is an English teacher, a Vietnam veteran, and lives just outside of town near the Whitewater River, though he insists he and Felix are not the same person.
There's a lot of me in Felix, only I don't think that I am as noble as Felix is, maybe, if you will.
Potato Ridge takes place in the late 60s, early 70s, with both serious and witty commentary on the issues of the time, like youth culture, feminism, and the Vietnam War. It is, at its core, a character book, and its most memorable characters are taken from real life. Take the identical twin brothers who ran a barbershop.
They did get into an argument because one was taking more than his share of produce from their communal garden, and they never spoke to each other the rest of their life, even though they lived in the same house, and even though they worked side by side for 50 years. They never, if they had to say something to the brother, they would just ask one of their customers to tell his brother this or that. They did exist.
It was a real thing.
Yeah, you can't make something like that
I
up.
suppose not. There are a lot of funny characters in this book, but there are some serious moments as well.
The character that really made me almost cry was the character of Butchie.
That's because he based that character on an actual student of his who had a rough home life and died in his mid-20s. But Butchie's story is left with a more hopeful ending in the book.
He sort of echoes the beginning of the book where he goes out to the highway and he sticks his thumb out and he heads south out to where the road disappears around the bend. I hitchhiked in, he hitchhiked out.
What I loved about the book were the short chapters. Before I knew it, I'd read 30 pages and was just getting warmed up.
One of my primary concerns in writing this book was to make it readable. People can read the book probably in 2 or 3 days or so.
And indeed I did. And I'm a slow reader. Overall, Potato Ridge is a fun, nostalgic, and beautifully written look at small-town Indiana. For Curious Mix, I'm Matt Pelsor.